Okay. Good job. This is what I do at the beginning of every video. Okay. Dude, you're making me nervous. Okay. You think I was? Who am I? Ridiculous to face yourself for a camera. Hi, it's Nerdy Nardos, and today my video is going to be on academic excellence. The goal of the class was mainly to teach students a lot about learning, something you do before class, during class, and after class. You might think that in order to get all A's or a 4.0, you need to dedicate a lot more time, but this process is actually meant to cut down your study time. It's something that my professor calls bullet point reading. Research shows that if you use this method, you retain 80% more. So this method consists of every time you're doing a reading, you stop at main ideas or something that stands out to you and you summarize it with 2 to 5 words. The reason why they say 2 to 5 words is because it's short enough that your brain can remember it. And I can personally testify to this because in my theology class, he asked us something so ridiculous and minor to it, but because I did my bullet point notes, it was like the 3 to 5 words came to mind even though I didn't know I know them. You know what I mean? So 3 to 5 words. Not go above this. If you think that an idea does not fit within 3 to 5 words, then do a different bullet point. And this process also allows you to see if you really understand something, because if you can't summarize it within that span using unlimited bullet points, then maybe you don't really understand it and you need to go get help from your professor. Okay, and it kind of is the reason why everyone remembers like the ABCs and the basic things that they teach you in elementary, because it's broken down like in a really easy way for you to understand what you're doing. Also, this process kind of engages your mind as you're going through it, so you're not passively passing information that could be brought up in your test. Okay. Also, another thing to motivate you to do this is that research shows that in college at least, learning happens 20% in the classroom and 80% through your readings. So if you're not getting these readings down, then concepts that your professor really wants to emphasize to you are passing you by, and there's no way you can read hundreds upon pages during finals week, because that's just not going to be like a realistic thing for you to do for 5 classes. So yes. Number 1 is before class, 1 to 7 days before class, do your bullet point reading and have an understanding of what the reading was about. Okay, now what do you do right after class? These are called bullet point notes. This is the same thing as a bullet point reading, except you take your own notes that you wrote during class and you summarize them with 3 to 5 words. For every new topic that's covered, you make that word or that idea into a question. For example, okay, I'm making a video on academic excellence. A subtitle of that is bullet point notes. So instead of just writing bullet point notes, I would write, what are bullet point notes? The reason why this works is because tests are phrased in questions. So if you get your mind used to being tested, you're less likely to have anxiety attacks during exams because you're used to it, and also you most likely have asked yourself the questions that your professor will in the future ask you, so it will be like deja vu for you even if you didn't study right before the exam. Bullet point notes, you do them right after, as soon as you get out of class. I don't really understand the sign. I'm not going to pretend to understand the signs between I think it's Cody, she's right there and she's making me nervous. Okay, she said she'll look down. Okay, I'm not going to attempt to explain the reasoning for why it's important to do it right after, but the book says that your memory, like, it moves from short-term memory to long-term memory because you're reinforcing it. Like, you just reviewed the information through the reading, then you went to class to learn it again, then again you're taking the time to like summarize it and really internalize what you learned. So then the third thing is bullet point concepts. I personally think this is like the best out of the 3. They all work in coherence, but through each question or each error, even if you didn't make an error, you go back through each thing and you list the concept that was tested, and this formula only works if this standard is met. Yeah, so you write down the conditions and you really try to understand not just that question or what you got it wrong, but rather the idea that your professor was testing and that your professor cares about. Keep a binder for that class with bullet point reading, bullet point notes, and bullet point concepts. Come finals week, not only do you have an organized place where everything is summarized and you're not going back through long notes, but you also have a place where you personally have taken ownership of the material. These are your words. There is no hindrance. There's nothing hindering you from understanding this because you wrote it. It's summarized. Like, instead of reading 10 pages of something, you're reading 1 page with all the key information. I hope you learned something from this video, and thank you so much for watching, by the way. You guys have been so supportive. A lot of people have been walking up to me saying that, oh, I watch your YouTube videos, or oh, that was funny. I really appreciate it. Thank you for accepting me as your friend on YouTube or in real life. You guys are awesome, and I hope this video helps. Also, let me know what you would like to see. Okay, that was a lot, wasn't it? Okay. Thank you for watching. Bye.